Music was my life. At 7 years of age, I appeared in a big movie theater singing Chaim Nachman Bialik's No Did Ani Dofek Po. No Did Ani Dofek Po, la la la. In Warsaw, I was selected to be the soloist of an 80-piece choir of the large, great synagogue. Everything was all right. I was still going to school while in the ghetto. Everything was in Hebrew. Hebrew became my major language. The idea of Israel became paramount because everything was a Gola. No matter how wonderful it wasn't our country. And I would have gone to Israel after the war was over had I not had the only relatives in the United States. You see, everything in the ghetto was fine when it was run by the German gendarmerie or the Wehrmacht. When they attacked Russia, all hell broke loose. There was no more school, there was no more nothing. And they started to squeeze, and that's when they started with the transports. My dad was a carpenter by trade, and I was asked to replace him one morning. My father did not feel well, or he had some kind of a premonition, there was something, and I went. When I came back home, I couldn't get back into the section because it was all blocked off. There was a massacre. And what was the massacre? I found my dad, who was 41, my mother, who was 37, my younger brother, who was 2.5 years younger than I, right in the foray of taking the first transport to Treblinka. My father was resisting, and they shot the whole family. So you can imagine, what does a kid of 16 do at that point? A couple of months later, destination Auschwitz. Now, when I came to Auschwitz, of course, I had no family with me, and as it turned out, had I had any family with me, I would have gone with them. Probably I would never be sitting here. When I heard the German officer say, "Alle über 18 zum Lager," I didn't understand it, but I realized what was going on when the selection was made. Out of my transport of 1,500 people, there were only 6 survivors, and I'm one of the 6. After 2 weeks of dragging bodies, the block cell leader yelled out, "Who can sing?" Everybody knew Wisnia sings, so they brought me down, and from then on, my life became completely different. I didn't live by the rations. You know, longevity in Auschwitz for a prisoner was about a month or 2. Had I not gone in to become a singer and an entertainer, I would have never made it. And I was in pretty good physical shape because the Germans used to feed me because I played the piano and sang for them. I volunteered to go down to Austria. I was strong enough to carry cement to build those bunkers for the planes. On one fine morning after I escaped, I was hiding in barns. I heard that roar of tanks, and I looked down from the incline on top, and I see a column of trucks and tanks, and I was praying. It shouldn't be swastika. I thought it was German. And then when I saw the star in that first tank, I figured, the Russians are here. And I started running with all my might, and I fell at the ravine right in front, and the whole column stopped. Out of the hatch of the tank comes out Captain James L. Walker from South Carolina. I said to him, "You Russian?" He said, "No, American." I never left them until I came to the United States. My papers show that I'm a formal interpreter for the 506 Parachute Infantry. Most people are blessed with one life and hopefully a good one. I was blessed with two. My first life ended when I lost my family and got into Auschwitz. My second life began when I met 101st Airborne, 506 Parachute Infantry. I learned one thing: a bully only understands force. He mistakes niceness for weakness, and they only respect, honor, strength. They've tried to kill us for thousands of years. They never will. I don't know. Thank God for IDF. Thank God for Israel. Nobody will touch Israel. Why? Because they're scared to death of Israel. You cannot separate Judaism from Israel. Now, that does not mean that we cannot be good Americans. But for an American Jew not to be proud of what Israel has accomplished in those few years, and especially these kids, they're giving their lives for the world, not just the Jews. So it's incumbent upon us to feel a love for that Israel Defense Force. And thank God that there are enough people here in the United States who support the idea